Hey friends, Ernie here from Trader of Futures, here with a week-ending Bitcoin technical analysis. Actually, I call this volumetric analysis because, quite frankly, I don't use most of the what would be considered the retail version of technical analysis. With all the oscillators and moving averages and so forth. My analysis is almost exclusively focused on a few chart patterns and then supported by volume profile and also the time series profile. I also use tensor charts and other tools to look at order flow. And like most other people that are using technical analysis, I do look at things in a multi-time frame view because we know that markets are a fractal in nature, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a moment with this behind me. So here's a daily chart of Bitcoin, and you can see here I've got this big bear flag drawn in here, and we're just starting to break out of that bear flag over the last few days. Now this bullish run up here that represents the flag part of this bear flag is the run up that we had right off the bottom of 6,700. What I in the past have deemed a unnatural rise that was manufactured by whales, and likely also exchanges were complicit in that. My theory here is that trading volume was way down. The exchanges are just hurting. They make their money off of commission, so they had to manufacture some excitement. So the whales and the exchanges, I guess, are complicit in this, and they tried to push this market up to no avail. Bitcoin has really no reason to go up. Now, when I do my analysis, I'm just talking about the technical side here, which only comprises about 20%. The 80% is my fundamental analysis, where I develop the bias, my directional bias. And that directional bias is decidedly down, and it has been, obviously, since we started to pop this bubble. And that hasn't really changed anything. And with the advent of consensus, crypto consensus 2018, there really wasn't anything at all that could steer me off of that bias. We are still in a bear market, never have left a bear market with Bitcoin, and that is just the way it is. So here we are with this big bear flag, and we're breaking down from it. Now I'm going to zoom in on this area here with another chart, going from a daily to a 4-hour chart, and we can see this area of breakdown. If you were to take the bottom of that channel, that would have been somewhere right around here, the bottom of the flag, and this is where we broke down. And you can see there are successive other bear flags, and each one of them are getting broken down like dominoes. I don't know else how to explain this, but here's a bear flag coming up, broke down. Bear flag, broke down. Another bear flag that we're in right now, break down. Now, where volumetric analysis comes in, it gives me structure of the market, and it gives me very objective points on where I can target movement, and also behavior of price as it crosses over high volume nodes and low volume wells. And based on that, you can see some of these lines they look like they're going nowhere. They're not attached to the volume profile, but they are lines that were generated from the higher time frame volume profile. And so my first target really is this 7,700 area, and that represents, if we go back to the daily chart, that's right about here. That's this big volume well right here, and you can see it's very, very deep. That's an area where the market has just decided that there's no value there. Now, typically on volume wells, at the very low point, that becomes support or resistance, depending whether or not you're above or below it, respectively. So I expect we'll come down to that volume well, to that blue line around 7,700, and maybe bounce off of it. If we don't, if the market is truly bearish, I mean just outright bear, then it's going to slide right through that area and then head down to the 7,100 area. But I expect that we'll hang out up here right now, so we'll just go right back here. We're having a little bit of a bullish day today, and we're hanging out here. Now, what will happen from here? Will we continue? Will this bear flag break down, or will we continue up to this area, this volume well? Now, I'm sorry, this volume high value node. Value nodes, high value nodes, have a kind of stickiness or magnetism to them. So it's very possible that we might come up to that area and then hang out there. But it looks to me like we're going to probably continue and then just complete this flag and then break down from there. So that's the scenario. I'd give it about a 50-50 shot from going up here to the 8,350 area, or breaking down a little bit further to 8,100, and then finally breaking down through the bottom of this smaller bear flag. And then the next stop will be 7,700, which on the bigger chart, like I said, is right here where we have that volume well. So let's zoom in a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit more to the hourly chart. We can see this a little bit better. And we can see that each one of these flags has had, well, it's kind of hard to say, but if you look at the average of the volume decreases as the flag moves on, and that's typical of a bear flag. Volume decreasing, and then finally we may break out of this to the downside. Getting a little bit of bullishness, and we're heading up towards this 8,350 area, this other high value node, and this is the POC in this particular view, the point of control. So it is possible that we might move up to here and hang out here. If there is a little bit of bullishness, maybe there's some residual bullishness left over from, or you know, someone has some dream in mind. But I think the Bitcoin is going to continue down. It wouldn't be unusual for us to take a little respite and then come up here and hang out for a bit and then move down. So that's how I see it. Short every rally. That's been my mantra. Every time Bitcoin gains 100, 200 points, short it. And it's worked like a charm. Every once in a while, you'll catch one of these big drops. It's worked like a charm for, the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Just short every rally. That's going to be the name of this video. Short every rally. Thank you very much. Oh, and if you're interested in learning more about volume profile and trading this way without all those fancy indicators that are useless, that have nothing but lagging information, all the information that I get from volume profile is the present. It shows market profile, market structure in the present, and gives you an excellent idea of how price will behave as it crosses those profiles. So I'm holding a class. The link is down below next weekend, Saturday. Hope you'll join us. We'll see you next video.